Hi, I'm Justin Jensen, and welcome to my channel. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and may fall again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming. Teddy Roosevelt. Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Today is October 19th, 2022, 12:52 on the East Coast. So, I am getting frustrated. Finally, I'm getting really frustrated with this after I saw what Dolly dropped just an hour ago. I cannot believe that there is a baby killer on the loose. She is out in a hotel room while there are kids around her. I mean, isn't this woman on probation? Right? She's on probation. So why is she able to drink, party, and have kids around her and probably do drugs while her 20-month-old is laying in a landfill? Laying in a landfill, decomposing because of her actions. She throws her own child in a dumpster, like this is trash. Yesterday I was watching Betty, and there was a trash truck. I clipped it and put it on a YouTube short. And it was really profound for me, to be honest, because you saw this dumpster truck go by and you couldn't help but think that a little baby, a human being, was thrown in a dumpster and then thrown in that trash truck, compressed, and then thrown out into a landfill where there is everything imaginable, humanly imaginable, in and around it. And we have to remember, they have to be certified in special training to do this, to research this or recover. This is not just an ordinary recovery, because I'll show you. They have to be certified in order to do this. This is what they're searching through. Leilani and Billy Joe, I hope you see this. while you two are out drinking, partying, acting like buffoons. This is what strangers are doing right now, scraping piece by piece to find a baby. Your flesh and blood, both of yours. There are needles, there are biohazards, there are feces of everything in there, rotting, decomposing, everything. And this is where you chose your child to be its final resting place. That was what you had in mind. Well, that's not where Quentin is. Quentin is with God. His body may not be, but his soul and his spirit certainly is. But we're going to find that baby. We are going to find that baby and give him a proper burial. He never got to even really use many words in his vocabulary, let alone do anything else. You sick, twisted, evil witch. So I call her now Queen Leilani. As you can see on the cover photo, I put a tiara or a crown on her, and then I also put some horns there because she and Billy Joe must be related to the devil, because anyone that is good or even mediocre good, anyone that is good, wholesome, or just anywhere in between, could not imagine a mother and a daughter. I mean, listen, I know where Leilani got it from. She got it from Billy Joe. She got it from Billy Joe. Billy Joe, we saw you in that video the other day, and you were upset. You were upset. It seemed like it, at least. But now you're out there partying, drinking. Oh, let me show you. Let me show you. Here's Leilani. The WSAV Investigates Unit has learned as federal agents were ending their first day of searching for Quentin Simon in a dump, his mom and grandmother were taking shots and drinking at a popular Tybee Island beach bar. It's Casey Anthony all over again, sweet Sherry. Yep. But even Casey Anthony didn't shove, Kaylee into a dump. I mean, it was down the street from there, from her house, and it was an absolute vile. But here she is. They're just having a good old time. taking shots, reminiscing about, drugs that they have done. There you go. She's at a hotel. She's got people coming over. They came out on Dolly and Betty and they said, well, she's always been good to me. She's always been good to me. Yeah, because you probably gave her drugs and God knows what else. But let me tell you something. No one is a good human being if they can't treat their own children well, or even any child, any stranger. Now, I was kind of chill, more chill about it whenever people's like, why hasn't she been arrested? I'm like, let the justice system let it work in place, let it go. It'll come soon enough. The justice, change it, the turn slowly, the wheel turns slowly. But listen, this is different. This woman is out partying with her mom, with her friends, you know, at an island beach bar, having a good old time. While not only her child is laying in a dumpster dead by her own fucking hands, her other children are gone too. You and Candace Wells and all of these people, you deserve your own island. Not a beach bar island, just your own freaking island. And then let you guys take care of each other on there. Because animals don't do this to their young, let alone humans in 2022. We have the most resources, the most advanced in medicine, everything. Even the people who struggle now don't struggle like they did 100 years ago. And in 2022, we have mothers, fathers, stepfathers, stepmothers, grandparents, all of these doing this to the kids, doing it. So I want to know what's going on with the Savannah Police Department. Now, if I was on parole or you were on parole, our asses would be grass. It would be grass. A, she should not have any kids around her. I believe that's what the judge said yesterday, if I'm correct. She should not be on any substances or drinking because a basic parole is not allowed, let alone something so high profile. Billy Joe, you are a disappointment. Not only have you failed your grandchildren in the past, you are failing Quentin right now. You are failing your other grandkids right now. You have re-failed them again. You have this very weird relationship with Leilani. When it's good, it's good. And when it's bad, it's bad. How you two bond, in my opinion, is through partying. But it's time to grow up. You both deserve jail. Now, I don't know how long Billy Joe deserves, in my opinion. I don't know. In my opinion, she deserves something. This is out of control. This is out of control. I have never seen anything like this in my life. A woman who people are still protecting her. People visiting her, right? Everyone's visiting her, saying their last goodbye, their last hurrah. Let's smoke, some grass together and let's just, say hell with the world and hell with everybody. This is unacceptable. I mean, Billy Joe, think about it. You have two kids who are going to be in prison for the rest of their natural life because they murdered someone. One being your daughter killing her grandchild, your grandchild. That doesn't happen by accident or coincidence. It doesn't. It doesn't happen by accident or coincidence. It can't. Murder. So look at the pattern of behavior with Leilani and Billy Joe and all of them. Look at the pattern of behavior with Don and Candace Wells, Grandis. Two people go missing in Grandis and Candace's family. Two people in Billy Joe's family, her children, take two lives out of this world with either weapon or by their hand. That is not an accident. These are very specific behaviors. And what do all of them have in common? Recklessness, sorry, I'm fixing something. Drugs, lack of anything good or holy, or wholesome, there is something completely wrong. I mean, you just don't see this in other people's behavior. You don't see this in other families' behavior. It's not normal for both of your kids to kill each other, or not to kill each other, to kill someone. It's specifically not normal for your daughter to kill her own daughter, your granddaughter. And Billy Joe, you have really just failed them again. Time upon time upon time. Because I'll tell you the truth. I think you were just like Leilani when you were younger. I think you're still a lot alike from your past. You know, you had a wild life there, Billy Joe. But this is it. Life is not a party. When you have kids, it is no longer about you or me or anyone other than your kids. Your entire day, your entire life is revolved around your kids. You are there to serve them, raise them, take care of them, to make sure that they grow up to be good human beings, productive, healthy mind, hopefully body, and soul. But Billy Joe, Leilani, you both are morally bankrupt. Morally bankrupt. You have people like 952 just in my chat right now who check on little Quentin multiple times a day, spend hours and hours praying for this little baby, seeing if there's any news breaks, watching people like Dolly, Betty, myself, right? And what the fuck are you two doing? Out being heathens. Out being heathens. While every child is gone. And Billy Joe, whether you get jail or not, you're going to have two kids locked up for the rest of their lives. They're going to be locked up for the rest of their lives. Now, you probably won't get locked up for the rest of your life, but you will have. Who are you going to have with you when you do get out, Billy Joe? You're not going to have your kids, right? Because you completely failed them. You're not going to have your grandkids because one of them, your daughter, threw in a fucking dumpster. The second thing is he was in a fucking landfill. And you know what? So you're not, and the ones that are left are thankfully not going to be around you or your family ever again. So, who are you going to have, Billy Joe? Who are you going to have when you're 75, 80 years old? These decisions that you have made will dictate how the rest of your life goes. Now, I always tell people, don't really sweat stuff that's not going to matter in 5 or 10 years from now. But let me tell you something. This dictates the rest of your life. You're not going to have any more kids with your age that you are, Billy Joe. Your daughter will not have any more kids because she'll be in prison for the rest of her life. Your son will not have any more kids because he's going to be in prison for the rest of his life, because both of them took breathing, living humans from our planet. Babies, in one case. So what are you going to have, Billy Joe? You're going to have a lot of fucking guilt. When the cameras leave, the YouTubers leave, everyone leaves, and it's all quiet in the house. That's what you're going to have. A bunch of guilt, then hopefully some jail time with it, to boot. And this is the thing, guys. I was looking at a case, I think it was in Ohio. It was a 7-year-old little girl. They knew she was in the landfill, the 7-year-old little girl. They knew that she was in the landfill, but they didn't know exactly where she was in the landfill. They spent millions of dollars trying to find this little baby. And it was by the hand of her mother as well. They had search teams searching for 6 months in this landfill. They never found her, ever. They never found this little girl. They never found this little girl. Now, I do think that they will find Quentin. I'm very hopeful about that, because they have a more targeted area, and as much time didn't go by in baby Quentin's case as they did with this other case. But we may not have Quentin for 2 more weeks, 3 more weeks. It just depends. It really just depends. We may have him today. We don't know. We don't know. Yes. They sent people from Quantico. The best of the best. Is right, Vet Girl. Hold on. 1 second. We found Billy Joe Howe, excuse me, Quentin's grandmother, at a hotel across the street from the beach bar this morning. She told Tybee Island police that I was, quote, starting to annoy her. Here she is on her bike, having a good old time, letting the sun go through your hair. Someone put they found him or something like that. Thank you, my love, for subscribing. I appreciate it. I have not heard of anything of them finding Quentin today. My God, even if they were innocent, which I don't think they are, who goes drinking at a club when you have a child or grandchild missing? It speaks volumes about what kind of people they are. Yes, these are the people that don't get life. They don't get life. They are so selfish, so self-absorbed, they can't see past themselves. They can't see past themselves. That is why they have the kind of life that they do. I couldn't even think about riding on a fucking bike right now. I wouldn't even be able to see from my eyes being swollen too much from crying. Probably my eyes would be swelled shut. In my opinion, it does too. Exactly. When you're on probation, you're not allowed to be in an establishment that serves alcohol, let alone drink it. Country girl, let alone drink it. Hell, they're just having a good old time. People visiting them, partying at their house, having a great time, out hollering, hooting in the backyard, playing music loud. Thank you, TTC, for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Thank you for your support. This has me fired up, guys. And you know I usually don't get fired up like where I'm cussing. But this has done it. This has done it. Because there is a little baby in a landfill. Why grandma's got her tight fucking jeans on a bike, and she's fucking annoyed. Guess what, Billy Joe? We're fucking annoyed. We're pissed. Yes, that's exactly right, Sandy. Or near babies. Got all kinds of babies around him. They had well, not all kinds. There was a baby there at the hotel. Thank you, Christina. My worry is he's not at the landfill and they're celebrating that they fooled the cops, laughing at the FBI. Thank you, Nikita. I didn't see that. Thank you so much. Now, see, I think that he is at the landfill. I think that they have enough evidence to show that he is at the landfill because the the dumpster right there at the trailer park and that gas station, I think they have multiple ways that they can tell that a body was in that dumpster, and one being a recording of her, because the authorities, they won't answer if they have a recording of Billy Joe from the gas station right there. And the cadaver dogs have hit, allegedly, on a dumpster, the trash truck, and the landfill. So I think personally he is at the landfill. Look at this baby. And this is the thing. He looks just like Leilani. Me too, Denise. Guys, I apologize for my mouth, but I'm pissed. I am pissed. This is as ridiculous as I have ever seen it. Even Hawkins County, if they knew where Summer was, they would go get her and they would arrest Don or Candace or whoever did it. Thank you, dear. Appreciate it. But I was so frustrated, aggravated. This little baby's with God. That I can assure you. That I can assure you. He didn't get to spend much time on earth. But I can tell you this, little baby Quentin, you have changed millions of lives in your 20 months of being here. Taken way too soon. And I'm sorry for whatever harm was done to you. Well, this bitch is having a good old time. Oh, yeah, Selena. She's a selfish, self-absorbed, should never have been a mother. Neither should Billy Joe, probably, to be honest with you, because she raised two murderers. Thank you, always late. Thank you, my love. Hold on, I think I got... Well, they are really searching. You see, this is the thing. They have to go through this one by one by one fragment. Because we don't know, well, we'll just say this. In the Summer Wells case, when we were looking for her, she was 5 years old. 5, right? They said, picture a laptop. A laptop. Now, a 20-month-old, who has been missing, I think, 2 weeks today. 2 weeks today. Now, I can tell you, based upon a previous job I used to have, there's not going to be much left of little Quentin. Unfortunately, because of Leilani, he won't be able to grow. Quentin should be laughing right now, giggling, getting ready to eat lunch, right? Playing around the house, running, that kind of thing. He should be growing every day, learning new things every single day. But the bitch of a mother, we have complete strangers looking in this dumpster or this landfill, one by one fragmented piece, because he is smaller, because he's been in there 2 weeks. In a dumpster to a compressed trash truck to dumping him out. To bulldozers shoving this trash, going over it and over it and over it. And this bitch is out partying. Now think about it. Stop and think about it, how fucked up that is. Because people, a lot of times as humans, we know how bad it is, but we don't really think deep enough about the steps that makes it so bad. Thank you, Tara, for becoming a member. So think about it. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever been to a landfill. I have. I've been to a landfill many times. So I used to flip houses, and we would, take stuff to the dump all the time. And we would throw it out, throw it all out. And occasionally, if we had like a big load, we would have to go out to where these bulldozers are and dump it out. And then the bulldozers would come. As soon as we would pull out, the bulldozers would go vroom and right over it. And then they would back up and shove it further. Now, I literally want to throw up right now. I literally want to throw up. That someone could do this, because most, something, before I was ever a parent, a foster parent, either one. First I was a parent, then I was a foster parent, but people told me, Justin, whenever you have a child, it comes naturally to you. It's just instincts that takes over. And you couldn't understand that until you became a parent. You can't comprehend it until you become a parent. If you don't have kids, you just can't comprehend it until these natural, how to take care of a child and raise a child and everything. And then you love them more every day, and you don't think it's possible that you could love them more. And on the tired days, you're exhausted, you're either sick, you don't feel good, or whatever. You still love them just as much. It's not always easy being a parent. It's it's just not. But how can someone even possibly think about harming a child, especially your own, or any child for that matter? Um, what time is it? I've lost. Okay, I got about 20 more minutes. So, if anybody wants to call in, pardon me, 307-228-4906. We'll take a couple calls. Um, I don't know. I've just never seen anything like this. This was an hour ago. Can y'all see that? Okay, an hour ago. Look at all the love people has brought out. Oh, and get this. A subscriber went and put something underneath the tent the other day, and Leilani came out and told her to get out of my fucking yard. Leilani told someone that. I don't think Leilani likes it that her little baby boy's getting some attention. Much needed attention. 865.
Hello?
Hello.
What's going on, man?
How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. It's old Don B.
Hey, Don B. What's up?
Well, I just got off the phone with someone.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know the history behind the boyfriend. I've not looked into him much.
Right.
But it was confirmed to me that he is part of the investigation and that they are looking into him.
Yeah, something, the time there is a little fishy, isn't it?
I've just been paying attention to Leilani and her grandmother. I've not really paid attention to the boyfriend.
Right.
And when I asked my source, I said, I know they're focused. I know the only information we got right now is that if anybody's going to be arrested, it's probably going to be the mother. I said, do you expect any more arrests to be made? And all I was told is that they're looking at the boyfriend too. And that's all I could find out.
Do you think they'll arrest Billy Joe?
I'm starting to think so, because they could have arrested her from day one for neglect, or not neglect, child endangerment.
Yeah.
So the longer this goes on without her being arrested, I'm just wondering if they're trying to gather up more serious charges.
Well, hopefully.
And we've got to stop and realize that they've all got lawyers.
Yep.
And those lawyers are just itching for the police to make a mistake.
Oh yeah, that's true, and we have to think about that as well. They're trying to cross all their T's and dot all their I's, but damn, I mean, why are they letting her out drinking and partying and drugging and everything else when she's on parole?
I'm just thinking that they're gathering more and more evidence, and they're thinking, if we can find a little Quentin this week, at the landfill, that's just going to be, the icing on the cake, with what they've got.
Yeah.
And not to mention, they've got attorneys, and the attorneys are just like, if you arrest my client right now, you better damn well have some good charges.
Yeah.
Because we don't want them just doing 90 days, 2 years, or whatever.
No. Specifically, Leilani, she needs to be in there for the rest of her life.
Right. So we got to let that process work out and kind of be patient. And I mean, if this was in the 1800s, they'd have already probably been hanged. Hung.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I think death row now, they're like, oh, well, we don't have the drugs to make it humane enough. I'm like, why the hell does it need to be humane? They inhumanely killed a 20-month-old child. They don't.
Yeah. These prisons. These people that commit these violent crimes, man, they get to sleep uncomfortable. Caught.
Yeah.
They get to watch cable TV and get fed 3 good meals a day.
Mm-hmm.
And, get to go outside for 1 hour a day.
Yeah. Don't have to pay a freaking bill or nothing, and taxpayers' expense.
Right. I just got through visiting Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary up here. It's closed down now, but I got to go look at the hole. There's, I think, 6 cells, in the hole.
Oh yeah.
And when you go down there, there's no daylight. It's a concrete bunk that you have to lay on with no padding. And I feel like for these violent criminals that do stuff to kids,
Yep.
that's where they ought to put them.
Yep.
Not in some, cozy cell with, nice fluffy mattress or
I agree.
cot to lay on.
I agree. I mean, if there's no death penalty where they're at, they need to be as uncomfortable as they possibly can be for the rest of their life.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Look at what Chris Watts done to his two little kids.
I know.
Right.
Ugh.
And look at how he's living it up.
Oh yeah, he's a big celebrity now.
Yeah. I mean,
and people's taking up for him. It's just sick. I don't understand how people takes up with, these violent offenders killing their kids.
Yeah.
Chris Watts, he put him in those oil wells in that little hole.
Yeah. They could have just easily buried him beside Shanann.
Yes.
In a respectful manner.
Right. Do you know how hard it was to get a little body through that really little hole in that oil well?
Wow. And then I heard that one of his kids said, "Daddy, are you gonna do me the way that you done her?"
Yeah.
Or, the child knew it was coming.
Yeah. Oh, it's pitiful.
Yeah. When I was looking into the investigation, and then the way he disposed of them, I was just like, people like that should be in the hole for the rest of their life.
Yes.
Not,
Yep. I agree.
I think until they start, making examples out of people,
they're not going to learn.
They don't really have any. Yeah, they don't have any. What's the worst going to happen to me? I go to prison for the rest of my life and get fed 3 times a day and get to watch TV all day.
Yeah, medical care and everything else.
That's why they keep doing it.
I found a case last night. A subscriber sent it to me. Melissa Town, Towne. I did it last night. Go look at that, Don. Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh my God. I don't know. I mean, it's every single day. And you know this. People send you stuff every single day.
Right.
And it's just impossible to, to do all of these cases. It's just impossible.
Yeah. That one you just spoke of, babysitter reported the abuse.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And CPS is so fucked up too. Needs reformed. It's terrible.
Yeah. And I'm headed to Rogersville next day or two to try to ask some questions and see what's going on with the judge down there. I don't know why that feller only got to serve 1 year.
Look at was sentenced 20, served 1. And notice
I'm gonna go down there.
It was 4 years later from the charge. He was charged 4 years ago, and it's just now. And I didn't see it in any of the newspapers either. Did you see it in any of the newspapers locally?
No, I even called WVLT in Knoxville and asked them if they heard about it because I was wanting them to, investigate why the judge made the ruling the way he did.
Right.
And they didn't even know nothing about it, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking in the local newspapers, and I see you said he violated 3 more since the first time, and it's not in any of the local news or anything, and they are just trying to. You know why? In my opinion, why they didn't? It happened 4 years later because Ronnie was up for election.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, yeah, he just needs to step down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, with what else going on, and then this, it's just, this was breaking the Titanic in two. This was, I mean, and he just needs to step down. And there's just too much controversy going around with him and his family. I do. I think he just needs to step down.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, nobody should be. I mean, I think every position of power needs a term limit. I don't care if it's local, federal. It needs a term limit. Everything.
Yeah, I forgot about term limits. Yeah, I'm 100% with that.
People get in there and then they get lazy and they just feel like nothing changes with one person in there for 50 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, thanks
yeah,
for.
but I just wanted to holler at you real quick, and I mean, I don't know if anybody has heard this or not, but like I said, I wasn't looking at the boyfriend anyway. I mean, I was more concerned about the mom and the grandma.
Right. No, I understand. Cassie Rocco in our chat here, she says Hawkins County took down their Facebook right before he was sentenced. That's interesting.
Interesting. But yeah, Ronnie just needs to step down, and they definitely need to put someone with less controversy in there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well, and you wonder, is this a learned behavior?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When I called WVLT, and she said, now the reporter I talked to, she said, now what happened? I said he was sentenced to 20 years, but for some reason the judge only told him he had to serve 1 year in jail. She flipped out.
Yeah.
She's like, do what?
Yeah.
And now she said they're going to do a story on it, or they're going to go look into it, but we all know how that goes.
It's corrupt down there, man.
Yeah, but I'm gonna head down there next day or two and poke around and ask some questions and just kind of see what the community thinks about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I bet you most of them don't even know about it.
Yeah, we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to holler at you, bud, and let you know what I found out.
All right, honey. Thank you. I appreciate you, Don.
All right, man. Y'all take it easy.
All right. Bye-bye. I didn't mean to call Don honey. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you being on here. I have to go pick up my kids from school. So, love you all. I may be back on later this evening. If any news breaks in the meantime, I will be live. So keep it out. Keep checking it out. That's all I can say. I just can't believe what's all going on right now with this baby. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. All right. God bless each and every one of you. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much. If you would like to support the channel, our Cash App is $Crimefactor, Venmo at Crimefactor. It's a great way to help out the channel and keep us here. I appreciate you all. God bless each and every one of you. Bye-bye.